Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Tender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? Hope everybody doing well out there, man. You know what I'm saying? We had to handle a little business, man. Had to lock in and focus on, you know what I mean, some things that's gonna take us further in life. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm back with another video, man, and I want to talk about the fallout of Gervonta Tank Davis and Lomachenko, at least, this time around. And what should happen next? Because Gervonta Tank Davis is free. Shakur Stevenson is free. And I feel like that should be the next fight. Apparently, Lomachenko had dropped out of negotiations with Tank Davis, or any talks. I don't think they ever actually went into negotiations. But, any talks or preliminary talks about that fight being made, Lomachenko and his team is saying that, he's going to take some time away from the sport because he got some family issues going on, some different things that he's dealing with. Lomachenko is older in his career. They've done a lot in the sport, from amateur perspective and pro. And it's one of those situations where it seemed like he only gonna fight if it makes 100% perfect sense to Lomachenko. And what do I mean by that? So if you look at it right now, Lomachenko really wants to be undisputed. I think that's really the only reason why Loma is still boxing right now. He want to be undisputed. He had his opportunity versus Devin Haney, lost that fight. Now, in this case, he has one title at 135. And for Loma, I feel like he wants to do the least amount of work for the biggest result, right? For the most results. And what that would look like to me would be him either having one fight versus whoever is the winner out of Tank and Shakur and Baranchek, the other guy that has a belt, and then have one fight that get him undisputed like he did versus Devin Haney when Devin Haney was the undisputed champion. Or maybe fight Baranchek and then fight the winner of a Tank Davis and Shakur for all the belts, right? The least amount of work for the ultimate goal. I don't think he wants to go through Tank and then have to fight Shakur and then have to fight Baranchek as well. You feel what I'm saying? Also, when you look at it like this, Lomachenko has been chasing and clamoring for a fight with Tank Davis for years. We could say about 5 or 6 years. And Gervonta Davis and his team have openly declined any idea or thoughts or talks about that fight. We're going to keep it all the way 100. Floyd Mayweather denounced the fight at one point, and then, when him and Tank became at odds, Floyd actually wanted to make the fight, and then Tank himself was like, y'all trying to set me up for trying to put me in there with Loma. You feel what I'm saying? It seemed like Tank felt like it was premature at the time. Leonard Ellaby denounced any idea of fighting Lomachenko. They did not want no parts of Lomachenko for years. So in Loma's mind, what I'm thinking that Loma is probably thinking right now is that, hey, look, I've been trying to fight these dudes, and these dudes didn't want no parts of me. Now I done took, more losses. I done got older. I done shown, I done had injuries. I done had things going on outside the ring. I done showed, signs of me slowing down. And now y'all want to fight me? Oh, no. I'm going to make y'all fight me when I want to fight. And we going to do it on my terms. And it's going to be for all the belts if I'm going to get in there with a monster like Tank Davis. Because after all that I just said, even though it's a fact that Tank and his team have been avoiding Loma for years, all this time I've been thinking Tank would have whooped Loma ass. Even when Tank's team didn't want the fight, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Tank is better than Loma. I've been saying Tank would have knocked Loma ass out years ago. You feel me? So for Loma, it's like shit. I ain't finna fight this dude. I ain't finna fight him now. When, you know, all the everything is favorable for him. You know, so if I'm gonna fight him, I'm gonna get that bag and I'm gonna get all the belts. That's what I believe that Loma is thinking. So now that all of that is at the forefront, what's next? We don't know when Loma's gonna come back. We don't know when he's gonna be interested again in fighting, period, or, you know, much less fighting Tank Davis. So what's next? Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis should be next. Shakur Stevenson feels that, hey, you know, his back against the wall. It's him against the world. Everybody is, you know, shitting on him and criticizing him and, you know, saying that he's overhyped and he ain't what he think he is and all of these different things. This is a perfect opportunity for Shakur Stevenson to prove himself versus arguably the best fighter skillfully on offense, defense, just overall, one of the most complete fighters in the sport, arguably the best fighter in the sport, Tank Davis. I think the best fighter in the sport is Terrence Crawford, but if somebody were to argue with me and say they think that Tank is the best fighter in the sport, I ain't got no argument because I think you might be right. You feel what I'm saying? So this would be the perfect opportunity for a guy like Shakur Stevenson to silence all the haters. Anybody that got some slick shit to say. You feel me? And for Tank Davis, this is also an opportunity for him to say, I beat a pound for pound fighter. I beat a multi-divisional champion. I beat a silver medalist. You dig what I'm saying? This is a chance. This right here, even though I really love the Frank Martin win, go back and look at the stats before that fight. They put up a stat that said championship rounds. Tank had like 80. 80 champ. It was a crazy number. It was like 80 championship rounds, and Frank Martin had 0 championship rounds. So as much as I love that performance from Tank and the fighter that he beat in Frank Martin, because I think Frank Martin's really good and he boxed an incredible fight, it just wasn't enough because Tank is that good. Shakur Stevenson is on a different level in terms of experience, which is big when you fight at this level. This is a multi-divisional champion who's been unified and he's skillfully a great fighter. So the experience is there at this level. You ain't gonna see 80 championship rounds to 0 when he get in there with Shakur. You're gonna see about the same. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see about the same. It's going to be a lot of rounds that Shakur done been in at the championship level. You feel what I'm saying? So I say that to say this, man. Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis is the fight to make. I think stylistically it's a great fight because Tank can cut the ring off. He can walk you down. He showed that versus versus Frank Martin. We know that Shakur Stevenson is a phenomenal outboxer who is really good on defense and does a great job of hitting and not getting hit. So it's going to be a chess match, so to speak, to see, well, can Tank make Shakur fight his fight or can Shakur make Tank fight his fight? Can Shakur, lull Tank to sleep and make it a boring fight and win on the cards his way? Or can Tank Davis pressure Shakur to get him out of his comfort zone and make him do some shit that he don't necessarily want to do and get him in a vulnerable position and take his head off? You feel what I'm saying? Hurt him. I think if Tank stop him, it's going to be to the body. That's what I think. I don't think it's going to be a headshot. I think it's going to be to the body, but it could be a headshot. Tank got every punch in his arsenal. He got power in both hands. One of the fastest fighters in the sport with hand speed and feet. It's nothing that Tank can't do, so I think there's nothing is out the question. But I just see a body shot just because of the way Shakur fights. He does a lot of, I think Tank gonna close the distance with his feet and then get up on the inside with him and go to that body, because Shakur, he like to step back and move his whole body. He did show in the De Los Santos fight that he can move his feet too, not just like a half step back. You know what I'm saying? He showed that he got lateral movement too, not just back and forth. He can move laterally too. So that's gonna be big. But he got to be able to move his head too. So, but we gonna see, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. What do you think about the fallout between talks with Shakur, with Loma and Tank? And then what do you think about Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson next? And if you, for some odd and unexplainable and, you know, crazy ass reason that you don't think Tank should fight Shakur next, who the hell you think he should fight? Let me know, man. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.